This course will be taught referencing the Mac or the Windows operating systems. And while you can download the Adobe Creative Cloud apps onto Chromebooks and handheld devices like the iPad, the features may not be the same as the Mac or Windows platform. And that's what we encourage you to use for all these courses at MrHakesClass.com. Most companies and schools I've seen use Macs, which is what I'll be using, but I will cover the features in a Windows operating system as well. What I'd like to do is show you how to find out your computer resources on a Macintosh and the Windows operating system. So let's start up with the Macintosh, and as you notice on the upper left hand corner for you Mac users, there is the ever famous Apple icon. What I'd like for you to do is go up there and click on that apple, and a drop down menu should appear. And the first option, it'll say about this Mac. Please click on that and you'll notice a dialog box will appear. And let me move it over. There it is right there. And you'll see that it'll name the operating system currently in use, which is the macOS Catalina. I'm not going to ask you to upgrade your operating system. It's strictly up to you. But more importantly, you'll notice that it has the processor listed there. And my processor currently is 2.5 gigahertz dual core Intel Core i5. I have no idea what that means, but I do know one thing, that my computer runs lightning fast and I'm very satisfied with the performance. But more importantly is the memory. And the memory, you'll see I have 16 gigabytes of RAM, which is more than enough for running Adobe apps. Some of you might have 8 gigabytes, which is okay. I've had machines that run on 8 gigabytes of RAM and it runs perfectly. For those of you who may have 4, I highly suggest upgrading because the Adobe products may run sluggish if anything less than an 8. So my recommendation is to get at least an 8 gigabytes of memory or more. Let's go up to the very top and you'll see a link that says storage. Okay, so please click on storage, and this window, as you can see, displays all the storage devices that I have. The first one obviously is the internal hard drive, which is called the Macintosh SSD, and you'll notice that it'll tell me how much disk space is available, and the number on the right, the 249.85 gigabytes, tell me how big that hard drive is. So what is the difference between an SSD and a hard drive? Well, the SSD hard drive happens to be the latest and greatest technology of hard drives. It's faster, it keeps the machine a lot cooler, and overall the performance is really exceptional. If you have an HD, be weary of the fact that your computer might heat up a little bit, but it still is pretty good, and I recommend eventually to upgrade into an SSD if you can afford it. Otherwise, HD should run fine. My other two external hard drives right here, this one is called Elements. That's just my external hard drive. If you notice that I have about 3 terabytes of available space, and I've only used zero point 0.1 of that. And I highly recommend the use of external hard drives in case you lose files or your system crashes. Always good to have that backup. The other one here is called No Name, which is really my SD card I use for filming. I just happen to not take it out of my computer. It really has no significance in anything here other than the fact that I had a camera, I took some video, and I just didn't remove it. And the final is pretty well known for Mac users, which is called the WD My Passport, which backs up the entire operating system and all the files. So all you really need, however, is the Elements and the Macintosh SSD or the hard drive, and that's pretty much it for the storage. Here's an important list that specifies the minimum requirement of all the hardware and the processors and the memory that is needed to run Adobe application. And as you can see, here is a processor listed. I'm not an expert in processors, but you may want to contact a local store, Best Buy, Staples, whichever is easiest for you to attend to, and ask if your processor meets this minimum requirement. Or you can also call Apple if you like. For the operating system, as you've seen before, I showed you that I had the macOS version 10.15 Catalina. Okay, again, if you want to upgrade, it's up to you. The RAM, now here it says 2 gigabytes. Okay, I would not recommend this at all because your application is just going to go extremely slow. It does say here 8 gigabytes, which is recommended. I would definitely not even consider 2 gigs or 4 gigs. I would just go 8 gigs or higher. And the graphics card, here are the recommended graphics card. Again, talk to your computer tech. The hard drive space over here says 4 gigs. Again, minimum, do not use 4 gigs. Go way higher, 10 times higher. There are hard spaces that go up to a terabyte, and I would go as much as I possibly can, whatever the budget can afford. Now for monitor resolution, as you can see, it says here 1280 by 800. Now for those of you who may be new to the Macintosh or not familiar too much, let's find out how you can find out your display resolution or your monitor resolution. I have two monitors side by side, and most editing professionals use two monitors. So let me go ahead and go up to the Apple icon here and click on System Preferences. And I'm going to show you this little dialog. You should be able to see this. I'll go ahead and click on Display. And I will show you the screen resolution for one of my monitors. Okay, so this here, if I click on scale, you'll notice that it says 1280 by 800, and if I move this over, you'll see 1280 by 800. But this is for my laptop. This is just one of the monitors, or this is my main computer, but you notice the monitor can only handle 1280 by 800. Let me show you the other monitor I use. Look at this one, 2560 by 1080. Now this is a much larger monitor. I have a 36-inch monitor and absolutely love it. Crystal clear imagery, very cool, and that's my setting at work here. Hopefully this helps. You can find this information on the Adobe website. I provided a link below, and hopefully this will help you purchase a computer if you need, or at least upgrade.